So we're talking to Smitty Miller, who is the Community Outreach Librarian at the Fraser Valley Regional Library in British Columbia. And we've got the Library Live and on Tour van, also known as LiLi.
Yep, and I'm going to correct you though, George. Yes, my official title is Community Development Librarian, but I prefer the title Tour Manager.
Tour Manager.
We've got to keep that metaphor going.
Okay. Well, how did you decide on a Nissan Cube?
Well, I was looking for something that was a little unusual because we were going to deliver something that was a little unusual. Something that gets people talking, something that breaks a few stereotypes. We had a non-bookmobile budget and we wanted to do a bookmobile. We couldn't afford it, so we had to think differently. So I took the book out of the equation, and I thought, what are the other things that libraries can offer? Oh, tons. Library service and expertise. And so we wanted to deliver it in a small package that was affordable. And all of this happened organically, all at the same time. We bought the car, but we didn't know yet what the service was going to be exactly.
Besides remote communities, what other facilities do you visit, especially in town?
Yeah, I visit community agency kind of places like established transition houses, soup kitchens, food banks, drop-in shelters, where there are already established programs. I serve both marginalized people and people that are socially excluded, I'll put that in quotes, special needs adults, for instance, or shut-in seniors in senior centers. Just trying to get the library to people that either can't get to the library or don't feel comfortable in the library. But what I do, so a quarter of the time I do events. Okay. Parades, fairs, festivals, turn it up, break stereotypes, tell people we're not as stodgy as you thought we were. 3/4 of the time, I use this car to go to homeless shelters, food banks, drop-in shelters, soup kitchens, and go in with a 3G connected laptop and issue library cards. I instituted a program for our whole library system of issuing library cards for people with no fixed address. Okay. I erase fines indiscriminately. If a fine is something that's keeping you from the library, I get rid of it. Okay. And generally just invite people into the conversation of the library as part of their community, and that I'm accessible as an example of how accessible the library is.
So for the most part, you don't have books here, but you do have gadgets as a demonstration for people who don't always get to see an e-reader and so on.
I have a very small number of books that I carry with me, and I give them away. I don't loan them. And one of my rules is I don't give away used, discarded library books. I only give bright, new, shiny books.
Good.
So that's one of my rules. And the gadgets, here, you want me to show you the gadgets?
Could you give us a tour?
Sure. And the reason the gadget bar exists is so people can sit down on one of my stools and experience things that they might have only heard people talk about but not gotten to touch. A lot of marginalized people hear us talk, and seniors, hear us talking about iPads and our iPhones and our e-book readers and all the ways there are to read besides paper, but they've never touched it, right? So what I do is have these charged up, turn them on, and let them play with them as long as they want to. People take pictures with the iPad or check out the books or try to download things, and they can stay here as long as they want. So I always have an Apple operating system, an Android. I now carry Windows 8, a BlackBerry Playbook. Then I'll have some e-readers, Sony, Kobos. I carry Playaways, and I even bring a Daisy player so people can see what sight-impaired people do when they want to read with MP3 books. So I have a couple of rules. I don't go into any library parking lots. I don't do any programs at libraries. Okay. The libraries do a great job of doing library things. Right. So I go to places where folks who don't normally feel comfortable in elite institutions like the scary library, I go to talk to them. And I hang out with them, and I wear my jeans and no makeup and just hang. Right. And just become a part of their conversation, you know? So there's a whole new stereo system in it. All of the flooring in the car is false. All of the amps and inverters and power sources are all under the seats, under the floor. We removed the back seat and they made storage areas for me in the back. And then in the very, very back, I've got a 37-inch TV, an Xbox Connect, a wireless microphone system with a microphone in the back and the front, so I can do parades and talk from the front. The 37-inch TV will accommodate, I have a VGA cable, so we can watch demonstrations from a computer, or I can show slides promoting library programs. So all of this technology and all the bright lights and all the shiny stuff attracts people who might not normally be attracted to walking into a stodgy old library. And it gets us started on the conversation to, hey, you really are welcome whether you live under a bridge or you have a nice house. Whether you don't smell good or you do smell good, you're welcome, and our services are for you, whoever you are. And they, sorry, pimped my ride.